You are great at getting stuff done. You are great at keeping all those plates spinning. And this is a superpower. It's really important to make this clear. This is a great thing about you. But just like everything, it has its downsides. And understanding the downsides of this superpower of yours is how you ensure that you stay in control of it, how you ensure that it doesn't get out of balance. When our strength gets too strong, it becomes our weakness. So we want to make sure we're in control of this superpower and it's not controlling us. And how you do that is you understand. There are some key things to understand about this get stuff done personality, ability, superpower that you have. And that is the first crucial thing to understand about this superpower of yours is that it is an identity, and it is an identity that is rewarded in society. Over drinking, overeating, overspending, they're all frowned upon. But overworking is celebrated and respected in our society. So this is an identity that feels good. Think about it. When things are going well, when you're on top of everything and it's all flowing, this feels great to be able to get it all done. It's very satisfying. When we're one of those people who can step in and help others, it feels great. When someone comes to us with their problems and we're able to help, it feels great. It's an identity that feels nice. But of course, when you get sick, when it gets too much and the wheels start coming off, then it doesn't feel so good. Then we turn around, needing a bit of help, and there isn't any, and it doesn't feel good at all. And then it starts working against us. So that's crucial, number one, to understand. Secondly, being one of those people who gets stuff done, who does everything, know this, it is a form of emotional management. This is how you process your uncomfortable emotions. Getting everything done is a form of control. It's how you feel in control of life when you know everything's done, you know what's happening in every area. That's how you feel okay. It's a form of emotional management. So the thought, if I don't do it, it won't get done. That thought, it's a fear, it's a prediction. Your brain is not a crystal ball and it's predicting, if I don't do it, it's not going to get done. Now, I know you have lots of evidence that things you didn't do didn't get done. But I also want you to know this, many times you think it ahead of time, you've predicted it ahead of time, and then you do it just in case it won't get done. So it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You always step in to do it because otherwise it might not get done, and people get used to that around you. So there becomes an assumption, well, that you're just going to do it. So okay, I'll just leave you to it. So it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, that thought. The other thought is it won't get done properly. You know, if I don't do the packed lunches, if I leave that to my partner, they're just going to chuck a load of junk in a lunchbox, and our kid's going to go off to school eating junk every day. If I won't do it, it won't get done properly. Okay, if I don't do it, it won't get done properly. It's a form of control. It's because you want things done in a certain way, and this stuff feels like a fact. Like it's got, you know, our kids got to have fresh fruit and vegetables in their lunchbox. It feels like a fact, and it's very reasonable, but it's just an opinion, and it's just how you want things to be done, so you can be in control of it, so you can feel okay. So this identity, the superpower of yours, it's a form of emotional management. So you've got to do everything so you can feel okay. Now, the consequences of that when this superpower is unchecked, when we're not aware of the shadow side, the downsides of our superpower, the consequences of this are that unintentionally, we don't realize we're doing this and we don't mean to do this. Unintentionally, we are communicating to our loved ones, I don't trust you. I don't trust you to do this. I've got to do this. I don't trust you. We're also unintentionally communicating, I don't rate you. You're not going to do it properly. I have to do it because you won't do it well. And so so this explains the response you get. So if you're getting the response of they don't care, they get angry with you, even though you've done everything, it's because they're feeling they don't feel trusted and they feel like you don't rate them. And this is why you get the response you get. So if you're asking for help and you're not getting it, or people just seem like they don't care and they're not stepping up, it's because we've unintentionally communicated this stuff and we don't realize we're doing it. They don't realize they're doing it back. It's all unconscious. The other thing is we're assuming responsibility, and you won't be aware that you're doing this. The moment hits, something happens, and you will just automatically assume responsibility. Just like the day-to-day tasks of family life, of work life, you're unintentionally, you don't realize you're doing it, just assuming responsibility. I have to do this. No one else is going to step up. I have to do this. Whatever it is you're thinking, you don't realize you're thinking it. Now, understanding that this superpower and the shadow sides are usually learned. This is generational bad habits. This is no one person's fault. The bad habits just flow down the generations forever because no one teaches us to understand this stuff, understand the impact of it on our relationships. So usually we have learnt to assume responsibility. We've had experiences in our life where we maybe don't trust other people and we do believe we have to do everything. No one's going to help us. This is generational habits that are learned. You're sponge soaking this stuff in and you won't realize it's happening. Even the stuff you promised you never do shows up when you're under pressure and you won't realize it's happening. So, what's the solution? Don't worry, there's a solution, and it is simple. The solution is to bring yourself into awareness of your emotional patterns. So, understanding and being aware of your emotional patterns means you can question them, and that creates choice. This is how you learn to pause and step back instead of leaping into action. Where am I? Also, yes, that's it. It creates space. When you're in awareness of your emotional patterns, this enables you to pause and it creates space in your relationships. This is how you change the dynamic in the relationships. The current dynamic is you just automatically do everything, and your loved ones have learned to let you do that. And they've just, you always jump in. You don't like the way I do it, so what's the point? Now, you may well be having these conversations back and forth, but you also may not be having them, and you may not be in awareness. This just is like a dance we don't realize we're doing. So when you are in awareness of your emotional patterns, it creates space. It enables you to pause, and you can learn how to process your uncomfortable emotions first without leaping into action. Currently, you get anxious and worried and overwhelmed about everything that has to be done, and you do it all to feel okay. And that is how you're stuck in this dynamic in your relationships. And when you learn to process those uncomfortable emotions first, separately, then you can have the emotional resilience to step back and see what happens. It creates space for other people to step in. The second solution here, when you know how to when you're in awareness of your emotional patterns and you're able to process your difficult emotions without leaping into action, it changes the way that you communicate. Currently, and you may be unaware that it's happening, you're blaming and you're feeling resentful, and that really tanks our communication. It makes our communications ineffective because the people around us feel blamed, they feel judged, and they resist and they defend, and nothing actually gets solved from this place. So when you, at the moment, emotion is high, and that means intelligence is low. It means that our ability to process information drops significantly because we're doing the blame, defend, justify dance. When you bring yourself into awareness and you process your difficult emotions, you're going to feel different emotions. You're going to feel calmer, you're going to feel kinder, you're going to feel more resourceful, and it will change the way you communicate. And from here, you can genuinely ask for help. It can be a genuine question, and you can feel okay asking, because right now it's very normal and common to think, I shouldn't have to ask. Why aren't they stepping up? Why aren't they trying? That's the place we often are. But the reason they're not is because of the dynamic I've explained. So when you step back, you process your emotions, you change the dynamic, and that creates opportunity for you to genuinely ask for help and not make it a problem you're asking for help. And it genuinely creates space and trust and belief in each other. And then people start stepping up. So I hope that's helpful. The emotions training that I shared with you previously will help you with this. Thank you.